Hello and welcome. This is Alchemistexe, and this is the weekly update. Not a lot going on this week. Mostly there's a new Mememto for Cadanova, as well as a rerun of the Brave Frontier, collab, which, another Gumi property, so sort of collab in quotes there. There's a new Mememto that's free, as well as a new EX stage for that. Other than that, fairly chill week. I'm guessing that once the Christmas event starts, it'll pick up a little bit. But there is also a port raid, so that might keep you a little busy, although there's only so many times you can do those per day, so not a lot. So the first thing that I wanted to bring up was the news from a few days ago of just which new units have their enlightenment available, because there is a few good ones in there. Most notably Cadanova, Leonia, and Lila. Shayna can be pretty good in single target. I don't know about Megistos and D'Artagnan. I haven't used them in such a long time. I wouldn't think that it would be a big game changer for them, but I could be wrong. If anybody's got good intel on either of those units, whether or not they might be worth looking at, I would like to know. As well as Bertha and Sharon, they're also a little bit more specialty units. And then the collab units as well, which this is always nice. I guess the Crystal of Reunion got this treatment last week, and now the Brave Frontier is getting it, so a little more longevity into their kits by giving them the stat bump that comes with Gate 6. I don't have either Lunaris nor Selena, so I can't speak too personally for it, but as someone who uses Merlinus, I definitely appreciate the upgrades. So another important thing is that Cadanova right now has a challenge board, so you can get him totally free if you didn't have him already. He's just a regular 3 times a day farmable unit, so it's not that crazy. Most people would probably have grabbed him at some point, but if you're relatively new and you don't have him, definitely take this opportunity to get him, because he's not mind-blowingly good, but he is a very, very usable unit. Even more so now that he's got his upgrades to his kit as well as access to Gate 6. So I'm just grabbing all the prizes because I forgot to do that earlier, and I'm curious to see what the prizes for page 2 look like. Yay for Cadanova. I've already got him ready to do Gate 6, so these extra shards aren't going to do much for me, but there are pretty good prizes, so even if you don't need the shards, definitely get the prizes. And then the challenge board from last week, the one with Sakura, and then the one with just shards, those are still around for another week, so make sure to grab those as well. As far as level type content, the Consecrated Elements is back. I feel like I have a bad habit of not mentioning that when it comes back, but do that once a day, get the prizes at the end of the week. Also, don't forget to use the keys at the end of the week. I forgot to do that last time, and then I was like, I'll rip 150 rainbow ingots and sins and retributions and all that. Oh, the fierce battle's around for another week too, so if you didn't get a chance to get 1,000 of the gold coins, I definitely recommend that, because you could get a relief, and if you do it non-stop, you can get 2 of them at least. The Soaring Dragon King level is here. Last time I tried to do it, wasn't working. You know what? Let's take a risk here. I can quit out of it, but I just want to see if it works, because the last time I tried it, it failed to load, and every single time, it was shortly after the reset. It was probably 1 o'clock in the morning, so oh yeah, looks like it's fine now. And there is also an EX Plus for the Brave Frontier collab, and if you do it, you can get a bunch of copies of the free Mememto, which if you use any of those characters, it might be nice to have just something you can pop on them in case you didn't get the Gotcha Mememto, which is on the banner, which we'll cover shortly after. I haven't tried that yet, but I will try it later. Even if I don't use the characters, I like to try and grab any free Mementos I can. And other than that, there's not really much else in terms of content aside from the port raid, which let's take a quick look at that, because I haven't done that yet today. I tried to do it first thing, and then I forgot that you have to build up the attempts to do it by running quests. So what do we got going on here? It looks like I have earned them at this point, because I used a bunch of AP doing other stuff. So what I recommend for these, because they are turn-based, like X amount of turns, like the EX bosses in Dungeon Quests. You have a very... You can't do like an Augie down strategy and just get as many turns as you can. So what you want is as much burst damage as possible. So I fully recommend using this trial mode to see what you can do and fine tune a little bit, because when you've only got 3 attempts a day and you got to take out all this HP, it's good to have it down pat. Like, know what the enemy's going to do, know how your buffs and or debuffs are going to work, know what the enemy is and isn't immune to. I haven't taken a look at it too much yet, but that's why I haven't used any of my attempts, because I want to make sure to get in as much damage as I can. But that is something for me to do once I'm done editing. So yeah, that is it for the week. Hopefully that is enough to keep all of us busy while we await the Christmas event. I'm looking forward to Lotia getting a job plus. That's why I'm excited about it mostly. But yeah, let's take a quick look at the banners. Okay, before I get onto the banners, I forgot to mention that Sacred Stone Memories currently is running at 0 AP. So if you are trying to grind stuff for any of the job pluses, like especially the annoying ones like Kagura and Canon, now is a very good time to do so, just because it won't cost you any AP. Also, any of the Holy Guard or Templar units that have job pluses and you haven't gotten them yet, great time to get them now. Or if you haven't finished Sacred Stone Memories, I definitely recommend doing it because of all of the gems, and then 2, all of the job pluses you get access to. Okay, now onto the actual banner portion. So first up is Sacred Stone Memories paid banner. I only recommend this if you're like really, really whaley, because otherwise it's a really big gamble. Like, yeah, you could get lucky and get brand new limited or another good limited like Automas, but you could also get like Monzine and just get like normal pool unit, normal pool memento that's not getting a ton of use at the moment. So one thing to keep in mind, this limited memento for Cadanova is kind of the first in a series, so we're going to start seeing upgrades to a lot of the Sacred Stone units, like job pluses, if you will, and also a lot more limited mementos for them. So any of the Holy Guards are a pretty safe bet in terms of investment. It's just a matter of when we get them. So if this banner existed after everyone's got a limited memento, then I would say it would be worth it for a lot more people. But for now, it's too much of a gamble to get my full endorsement. All right, below that are 2 very bad banners, the 3 steps that suck. If you want either of the collab units, they're in the Louise shop right now. And you'd be better off spending your gems on refreshes. And then in the case of Sharon, she just has a normal hard quest, so you can get 3 times a day. So if you really want her, you could eventually transmute her that way. Berta, you can't, but I believe she does show up in the Louise shop. And as someone who has her and has her fairly well enlightened, she does not see a lot of use unless I really need some panel shenanigans or moving enemies on specific turn shenanigans, but it really doesn't come up much. So it's really hard to justify the amount of gems you would spend chasing after them. So those 2 banners suck. Next is a banner that is I'd really only ever recommend the first step for new players that need to get more 5-star units that are in the normal pool. Otherwise, nobody else needs to do that. I mean, Cadanova is a featured unit on this banner, but he's also a free unit via challenge board. Doesn't make sense to me. Why even have him on there? Absolutely ridiculous. Next up is a less ridiculous banner, in that if you are someone who has or wants to use the Brave Frontier collab units, then this could be good for you, because you can get a lot of their shards if you're willing to go all the way to the 9th step. But you'd pretty much be set on their enlightenment if you did. So I'm sure that's not a huge group of people, but for some people, this could be a good banner. Next is a Sacred Stone Memories Memento banner. This one is not too bad because it's only Sacred Stone Memories mementos if you pull 5-star. So to get the most out of it, you still need to have lucky pulls. And I don't necessarily recommend going to the end because it's a very big pool of units, so you might not get 6 of the same ones. And some of us that have been, playing a long time have a decent number of these mementos at max limit break already if they're normal pool, maybe not the limited ones, but nonetheless, it might be worth a step or two if you have the discount tickets for it, especially if you do not have Atima's memento, because the VCR from that is absolutely amazing. So I would say if you don't have Atima's memento, it's even more worth your while to try and get it via, a couple steps. But yeah, that's not a terrible banner, just all right. And then the next 2 are 9 steps for Cadanova's new memento, as well as the Berta and Sharon mementos. All 3 of those are limited, and then the Miuna Cadanova one is not limited. But yeah, if you want to get any of those, it's it'll cost you in the realm of 20k gems, maybe a little less if you stacked your discount tickets. But yeah, that's about it. There is also one for the Brave Frontier memento, which is the 5-step collab style. So if you use those units and you want it, then no complaints there. And then there's also, as far as gears go, I normally don't talk about the gear, but if you're one of those people that uses Vargas, then you can get his weapon from the gacha. I don't know how many people that would honestly apply to, but it is good to remember. I don't totally love that because unless you can get the specific one that you want guaranteed, it just doesn't seem that appealing to me. But yeah, everything else is going to be an old banner from last week. So yeah, that is it. Not a ton of content, but decent amount while we wait for the Christmas stuff to happen. So yeah, good luck in your summons, good luck on the port raid, and I will see you guys next time.